All right, welcome back to our final round here at Guardian Games for Monday Modern. I am Travis Cooper, hanging out from Portland Paper with my producer and co-commentator.
Ian.
You don't get a last name? You're not?
No, I don't always offer the last name. Sometimes I just like to be Ian.
And we're gonna watch our well, we have 3 EXO players. One of them got a pair down with someone that was EXO 1, and so this is the undefeateds that have not had any draws playing each other in this final round. We have Calvin Bartlett hanging out on Spirits and Aiden Focht on Izzet Storm. Hope I got your name right, Aiden. Now is when I ask Ian.
I'm ready.
Do you think there's a favorite in this matchup? What side are you on? Emotionally, who's going to win? What are we thinking?
I really like Spirits in this matchup. I think they get the disruption and the clock here. And I think with a half-decent draw, they'll be in great shape. And it looks like we are a Bant Coco Spirits list.
Yeah. Spell Queller also very good against Storm. And we're going with turn 1 Aether Vial here for Calvin, and we get an opt on the instep for Aiden. Being on the play, pretty important for Storm to get this game won. If Spirits is on the play with turn 1 Aether Vial and Storm's on the draw, I see that being pretty challenging.
Yeah, I'm glad some people are still playing Storm. It did seem like it had fallen a bit out of favor for a time.
No, we get a turn 2 Brawl, so Aiden setting up for probably pretty powerful turn 3. Do we have a path hanging out in Calvin's hand?
I think so.
And if we do, path and upkeep is maybe where I'd want to be at.
Yeah. Maybe not.
It could have been a Selfless Spirit, unsure. And we get Ice Age Island. It's a pretty decent island.
Yeah, it looks like the Ice Age snow-covered island. Aiden leading on a Peer Through Depths.
One of the flex slots on Storm. And we're revealing a Sleight of Hand. So seems like Aiden might not be going off this turn unless we get a Manamorphose here.
But
nope, we're just getting a Sleight of Hand.
Massive value out of casting Peer Through Depths for 1 mana because of Brawl.
It's true, but we ended up just getting another cantrip, so perhaps Aiden's missing some critical rituals here. Are like some draw spells win condition.
It is really sweet that Aiden can hold up a single blue mana and be representing Remand with Brawl out there. Looks like Calvin fetched for a tapped Hollowed Fountain. So Calvin's going to have access to 4 mana this turn. I think probably waits on this Coco and forces Aiden to make the first move, or possibly does it end step on Aiden's turn if Aiden chooses not to make the first move.
And we're going to get a swing with Exalted here. And just passing of the turn.
And Aiden has not had to take any damage from his mana base so far, which is always a good sign.
It seems like there is a bit of a dichotomy of Storm decks, some of which play a fetchless mana base with the idea that you're doing so much scrying and putting cards to the bottom of your library that you don't want to have to fetch those and get them intermingled in the deck. Some of which are playing fetch lands, which usually play more of a Blood Moon sideboard plan. And we're starting here. We're ritualing off. And we're going to company in response.
Do we have the Remand? Yes. Oof. So the Wanderer not big enough to respond to that
And
Remand.
if there was maybe another Lord or Spirit in hand that you could vial in. Oh, we do have a Selfless Spirit. I would almost have been tempted to violin a Selfless Spirit and then,
Not what I wanted. So
take your
let's take
opponent
a
to
look at
XR2.
our
It's
Storm overlay and Aiden with some.
okay. So Storm Overlay should be at 1, 2, 3 right now.
All right. And Travis, did you notice that Aiden has his own storm counters?
It's great. Look at that. Aiden, first time I think on camera here, but is coming prepared.
Yeah, we love that.
We're getting some more mana. That storm counter needs to go up twice more. We're at 5 storm. I know I'm asking you a lot for you to do storm counters and talk at the same time. We're at 5.
Thank you. The previous song is called Lifetime Travels.
We're going to 6. We got a Gifts Ungiven, a Jace's Spellbook. Gifts Ungiven, in fact.
Nice, Travis. Your knowledge of promotional cards coming in handy.
To be honest, I'm not a big fan, but you know, it wasn't.
I think they're pretty cool. I think of the kind of alternate card frames, I like the signature spellbook card frame.
So it seems like Calvin might be hoping that Aiden goes in on the whole Past in Flames train here and is able to vial in. I'm unsure of what Calvin has in hand, but could have been a Selfless Spirit. Also, it could have been the Exile Graveyard Spirit. What's that one called? Do you know?
Chat help. Chat help. Exile Graveyard Spirit.
There's a Drogskull Captain, Misty Rainforest, Collective Company, and an unknown that is 1 and a white. Remorseful Cleric. There you go. Thank you.
Thanks, chat. So, Aiden drops a Desperate Ritual. Calvin decides that now is the time to sack the Mausoleum Wanderer. You might as well give it a go, just in case Aiden has not thought of everything.
It feels like once your Storm opponent resolves Gifts Ungiven, the piles are pretty self-explanatory if you've played Storm for a while. It's kind of hard to stop that train.
Yep, this is definitely where I concede. If
yeah, that's not a Remorseful Cleric, it's a Selfless Spirit. So here we go. It's pretty deterministic at this point.
Yeah.
There's no reason to probably not concede.
But I think if you haven't seen this deck go off that much, then it's definitely worth just kind of watching and seeing. I mean, I guess you just assume that they play Grape Shot, but maybe it's worth just double checking.
I mean, sometimes watching fireworks is fun.
Yeah. And I know this does not happen that much in Modern, but there have been times in Legacy where people have like forgotten that they boarded out their win condition and then didn't have it or something. I'm grasping at straws here. Aiden has a win condition and played it and grape shotted Calvin to death. So
Paul being great with having his own mana and storm counters.
Yeah, thanks, Aiden.
Sideboards. Okay, so chat helped us out with the Remorseful Cleric as a card that can exist in Spirits. Seems like that could be a decent card to bring in. Now, a lot of times the Storm deck after board is going to rely less on the Grape Shot effect and more on something like Empty the Warrens, but in this matchup, I might still be into Grape Shot because it targets creatures, which is good. Sometimes just a Grape Shot on like 3 or 4 to take out a couple spirits, Mausoleum Wanderers, etc. can be decent. Aiden might not be really pressured into going into the Empty the Warrens plan, but perhaps Aiden would be because of a card like Rest in Peace. All depends on how you think your opponent's going to be boarding.
So there is a card that I'm pretty excited about.
Yeah, Storm is Izzet.
Can I find it? It's a new card from Modern Horizons that is a cool sideboard card for Storm. It is an enchantment, and the player gains 10 life when it comes into play. Help. All right.
Putting up some players here. Like, what's this cool new card that is probably unplayable, but maybe is playable in Storm?
That's not unplayable. Let's find it. I'm going to find it in Modern Horizons. Or not find it in Modern Horizons, depending. Aria of Flame. Thanks, chat. Let's find Aria of Flame. And then let's talk about it.
Did you play any pre-releases? Have you opened packs of Modern Horizons?
I have not.
Neither have I.
I was
working
in Madison at the Ultimate Frisbee All-Star game this weekend and had no time. All right, let's take a look at Aria of Flame. So, sweet art, first of all. Any art that's like all flavors of red and orange and yellow is sweet on a red card.
Agreed.
But my favorite part about this card is that it is a Storm card and it does not require the graveyard at all to win. So I didn't like that about Pyromancer's Ascension, even though I think that card is fantastic. Aria of Flame is a sweet win condition that just doesn't use the graveyard at all.
Well, I think this would probably compete with Empty the Warrens, right? And the issue with this is that you can just counter it, where with Empty the Warrens, it's Storm copies.
I kind of feel like it competes more with, gosh, End of the Night.
Have a long day.
The card that gets you card advantage that's 3 mana and you reveal 5 cards and you pick 2 instants and sorceries.
Shooting from the hip here.
No, I'm not even shooting at all. Firing blanks.
I can Pieces of the Puzzle, I think.
Yes, that's the one. Yeah, I think it competes more with Pieces of the Puzzle, as Pieces is mainly used to get you enough resources to win, whereas this card, if you drop it, you can just continue to cantrip basically until you...
Yeah, I feel like you board in Pieces and you usually board out your Give Some Given in Storm when you're expecting Graveyard Hate. But
right.
As a way to get 2 cards for 1 card that doesn't rely on the graveyard. But we get a turn 1 Mausoleum Wanderer for Calvin. And we're going to get a turn 1 Serum Vision for Aiden.
It also deals damage to Planeswalkers, which is super sweet if you have somebody sitting on, for example, a Narset that's...
Or the Wanderer.
Or, yes, the Wanderer. But not a Mausoleum Wanderer. It doesn't help with that.
All right. Aiden going down to 19. Calvin playing the Horizon Canopy. Are we going to get... Nope, we're just passing the turn. Seems like we're... Got a couple collected companies.
Yeah, 2 Cocos, and it looked like a Drogskull Captain in hand. Ooh, I like Aiden's choice of basic island.
You can't Mausoleum Wanderer a Brawl.
You cannot. Calvin will take 1 off the canopy.
And I feel like this is... Oh, we get a Deputy of Detention. It's interesting how the Spirits and Humans lists kind of go back and forth. And you know, some humans are playing Deputy of Detention now. Spirits is playing it.
Yeah, these tribal decks have really kind of forsaken their identity in a couple of instances to play these other cards, because Deputy of Detention is not a spirit.
Is that an Onslaught Island? I can't quite tell.
That is an Invasion Island.
Well, that was close. So currently we're not, we're just a local Magic night here, although Portland probably has one of the larger modern scenes. We get between 30 and 90 people a night here, but we're not doing Cardboard Live for modern events here on Mondays, but we do some other streams. We do some Legacy and Modern and Invitational events where we do Cardboard Live that you can check out people's deck list, but tonight we do not have that.
Calvin passes.
Did we get a no attack there?
We did get a no attack.
We're
Well,
not.
Baral is sitting on defense.
Yeah, I always like bluffing. Deputy's a 2/3, right?
Deputy is a 1/3.
1/3.
Yeah.
Manamorphose. Is it worth a collected company to perhaps spell queller this?
Looks like we're going to 15? Okay, so I missed some Horizon Canopy pings.
Let me think for a second. So,
Coco in response to Manamorphose. Aiden's taking a think.
yeah, that could work.
Maybe Aiden's wondering if he should cast some rituals before.
Looks like a couple Selfless Spirits, a Drog Skull Captain. And looks like we pick Selfless Spirit and Drog Skull Captain. So that's, I mean, that's fine for the clock. It's not really going to help him live if Aiden storms off here. And these storm counters are coming out, so
We're doing something.
we are at
I'm gonna go red-blue.
Storm 2.
Is that a Pokemon energy counter?
Actually,
Where?
The storm counter. Is that like inspired by? I don't know Pokemon that well. Or is that just lightning?
I think it's just lightning. I think those are the Arcade Post storm counters.
pieces of the puzzle.
Oh, pieces of the puzzle still in there. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Remand's a pretty good pickup.
It seems very okay at this point. I imagine Aiden was trying to find
A
cards.
win.
Yeah, cards that will allow him to kind of continue comboing off. So unless he has enough mana in hand, these cards are not really furthering his game plan to win this turn. So another pieces. So
We got like 3 more cards on the storm counter here. Sorry. I thought we were braiding and remanding our own braid. Oh boy.
oh, I see. Yeah, we were just revealing those.
I thought we were digging deep there.
Yeah, that would have been
Taking grape shot, and
pretty aggressive.
I have no mana floating right now.
Okay, so 0.
Yeah.
And this deck does not play Simian Spirit Guide, so
I'm gonna take pieces.
it looks like Aiden's just kind of accepting that
And I'm going
things
to
are not going to happen this turn. However, if he can find a Past in Flames and Calvin does
play
not
Steam
have
Tapped,
Remorseful Cleric,
going to 14.
then he's in pretty
Alright.
good shape.
Okay, so we're on Aiden's turn 4
Pass
here.
the turn to you.
And we're passing it. So Steam Vent's probably there for the remand. Oh, that's a spell queller.
That's a great card to be able to keep up during Aiden's turn.
There's no vial or real way to cheat it, and there is that remand, so.
Yeah. Laugh at me. I take it. Go to 9.
And we're going to 9 here. Kind of like deploying this Wanderer as well. Maybe bait out that remand so you have your spell queller.
Did we just play that Seachrome Coast?
Nope.
Okay,
We've had 4 mana in play
Oh,
since
okay.
last turn.
gotcha.
I definitely play the Wanderer, even though you know it's going to get remanded. You hope it gets remanded so your spell queller can maybe do something.
Yeah, although it's pretty. Actually, he can't play the Queller though, because he has Horizon Canopy Plains,
Oh.
Temple Garden. So
Good
I
call.
don't like playing that here.
You totally got me there. I did not realize that. That's true.
Interesting. Aiden decides to go with the Abrade, which gets rid of the Selfless Spirit, but holds on to the remand. Maybe he feels like he's going to need the remand to piece together a win, remanding his own Grape Shot.
Yeah, I feel kind of bad that I missed that the mana that Calvin had available. There was only 1 blue up, so yeah, That was a really tough decision to play the Wanderer hold up Spell Queller.
Yeah. So we've got a grape shot. This might be one of those games where Storm really has to fight hard to make it to, you know, somewhere close to exactly 15. And it does make the damage taken off Horizon Canopy very real. And it also makes the life total saved off of not bluffing that attack real if Baral had maybe gotten in for another couple points of damage.
We're at Storm 2 right now, I think.
Well, if Aiden doesn't have the counters out, I'm not getting the counters
We're
out.
at Storm 3.
I'll turn to you.
And you just countered that ritual. Alright. Oh, Thalia. And so Thalia sort of negates the brawl effect here.
Right.
Calvin perhaps thinking of like playing Collected Company or playing Thalia.
I don't think Thalia is good enough personally. I think
Really?
if Aiden can find past in flames, I think that's what the game is about at this point. And getting Thalia off the board is not that difficult, as he has a grape shot in hand.
What do you play if you're Calvin then?
I think I just hold up Coco and Coco in response to what Aiden does on his turn.
But we know that Aiden has a remand.
That's true. So maybe I just Coco now and hope to...
I'm into Thalia.
Okay. All right, Calvin agrees.
2 of me. Alright, I'm at 7.
Like Aiden didn't win last turn when Aiden had all of the mana open. It's obviously digging for something. You're going to at least tax Aiden a little bit on mana with Thalia.
Yeah, I guess not playing into that remand, there is some very real benefit to that. And he didn't take any extra damage off his Rising Canopy either.
Although I'm unsure if I like sacking the Canopy as your only source of blue.
Yeah, and he's putting himself another turn out for killing Aiden. Like, he's not going to kill Aiden next turn.
And I'm just going to say there's a lot of hard decisions going on either side of the table, and it's pretty easy to commentate about it and pick out what lines we would choose, but you know, we're not always making the right decisions either, and there's a lot of known unknowns and unknown unknowns.
Yeah, I would say the vast majority of my commentary is completely off base, so...
I really don't like the sacking your blue source when you have Drog School Captain, 2 Spell Quellers in hand, but...
Wait, sacking your blue source?
Yeah, Horizon Canopy to draw a card.
No, his blue source is the Seachrome Coast.
Oh, right, sorry.
Yeah.
Screwing that one up.
It's okay, we're both really hungry, and it's round 4 of the day.
Yeah, and the hands are covering up the mana over there. Quality commentary here.
Oh yeah, that's why you guys come to watch this, right? Well, really, it's to rip us in the comments later for being idiots.
Yeah, that's always enjoyable.
Yeah. And mostly warranted.
It's true. We mess up a lot. But both players seeming to be kind of anemic right here.
Yeah. Yeah, the grape shot just gets in there to basically make it so Calvin has no clock at all. Yeah, I like holding up the... Oh, man, we still know that Aiden has a remand, though. It's like I like having Queller up, but that remand is just going to make it pretty useless. And it might even help Aiden to be able to get the card draw and filtering that Baral allows from remand.
Do you just Spell Queller like the first spell?
You do, and then you're sad when it gets remanded, and it probably helps Aiden get there.
Oh, here we go.
Yep. And it also adds to storm count. Ugh, just it's a really tough spot to be in if you're Calvin.
Discard a card. Heretic results.
We're at 3 Storm.
Desperate Ritual splice onto the Arcane.
Alright, we're Desperate Ritualing Splicing. I feel like this is maybe probably a game over here if that's where we're at.
This is a very rarely used aspect of Desperate Ritual. Let's take a look. Splice onto Arcane. What a very strange mechanic from I believe, champions of Kamigawa. That hasn't really seen much reprinting until Modern Horizons, actually. There are some cards that have Splice into Modern Horizons. Not Splice onto Arcane specifically, but some interesting Splice cards available. And you know when you're given the pile and you don't have Graveyard Hate and you're tapped out, that you're probably dead if Aiden has any even remotely reasonable amount of mana.
So usually pile is like Ritual, Manamorphose, Past in Flames, or like Ritual, Grape Shot, Empty the Warrens, Past in Flames,
Right.
Manamorphose, and other gifts.
But since the Past in Flames is already in Aiden's graveyard, okay, yeah, we're just easily making it at this point.
We're going through the motions here.
Yeah, I think we just got hit for 9, down to 6, another Grape Shot, and that'll do it. Bunch more damage.
That's exactly.
Some arbitrary amount of damage below 0. And the Stormtroopers get it today.
All right, Storm taking down Modern Mondays at Guardian Games. Haven't seen that in a while.
Yeah, it has been a bit, and you know, maybe Storm is feeling like they're well positioned, or maybe Aiden's just kind of an expert with this deck. I mean, he does have some foils there, and played a very clean game.
Well, it does seem like if people are going all out on really linear things like new Dredgevine, etc., Storm's like decent. Again, you know, you can combo off on turn 3 if you're on the play. It's, you know, seems.
It's good, and it's definitely fast. You know, you're hoping to dodge humans, which is certainly a good, you know, has a high meta share in Modern right now too.
Yeah, I think you have to maybe tune your main board to have something like bounce effects or lightning bolt or things you can get off gifts to deal with humans. But yeah, that humans seems like really rough matchup for Storm.
Yeah.